we're back on the house site this morning, and the first job is we're gonna put new teeth on the 2150. I'm actually waiting on Ricardo. He's the guy that bought our shop. He's gonna bring a one of his dumpsters over here. He's got a roll-off truck. We're just gonna go ahead and load up all this brush. It's too dry to burn, and we're kind of don't really have a good spot to burn now. They got the house all staked out, so we can't go there. And then, as you can tell, there's just woods and trees everywhere. So he may take it back to his shop and run it through his roto chipper deal, but I may leave the stumps or cut them off and leave them here. But he's got, I don't know, 5 or 6 30-yard dumpsters, which is handy to have him as your neighbor. So he's just gonna run one of those over here. We're gonna start loading up some of this brush and getting it out of here. Dad's on his way hauling me some more rock, so I just thought first thing we'll change these teeth. So I've never changed teeth on this machine or this style of teeth before. These got about 700 hours on these. It's an Esco style tooth. I think it's a U25. Yeah, U25S. So this one's probably the one that's worn down the most. So a couple inches off of it. It's got this tab on the side, which I'm guessing maybe, I don't know, kind of like an indicator on when they get to there, you may want to wear them out. So I've got a little more room in some of these, but it's pretty rocky up here. With digging out this crawl space and basement, it'll be a lot easier on the machine to change them out. And from what they kind of told me, I guess you can take a flathead screwdriver and pop these things out, I guess, or stick it in there and kind of pop it out. This one may be ready to go, and then you just kind of hit it over there with the hammer. So yeah, we'll see how easy that works out. There's a bunch of dirt and junk in there, so I have to kind of clean that out, but we'll see if we can't get these changed real quick. Okay, yes, a screwdriver will work. Just make sure it's not one you want to keep as a screwdriver. It probably doesn't help that this thing's full of junk, but and the fact that I've never changed teeth like this out, but that may be as far. Huh. Whew. Yeah, there you go. Still not how far to. Okay. Looks like we got to hammer it into right there. That'll make a little difference digging. visited with the homeowner and the builder earlier today, and they love how the driveway comes out and looks. I just wanted to know if I could improve on it a little bit. So I've scraped a little bit of rock, and you can tell I've painted some lines. We're actually going to kind of shift it over a little ways and then cut it down like another 3 feet. They want it to where it's kind of, I guess when the entrance comes out straight on with the road and it's lower down. So I'm going to try to go back about where I got the power and those phone lines at, start cutting that down, and then just kind of blend it into about that tree line right there. So we're gonna, like I said, shift it over a little ways and cut it down a little more. So I started cutting out up there where the apron's gonna go in front of the garage. That way I can salvage this rock, scrape it off, bring it up there, put it out, and then probably once I get that down, we'll just start cutting this down and loading it right into Dad's truck. So I'm gonna have to start loading that off, because as you can see, we're gonna be over there. So we'd set some flags out before we even started with the homeowner and the builder, and everyone kind of looked at it. And then I guess once they kind of saw it, they, like I said, they liked it. It's still a little steeper than what they were hoping for, and they're just kind of moving it over and make it easier to turn left, because it's a cul-de-sac road, so that's the way they're gonna have to go. So I told them no problem, we can gladly move it over. So we'll jump back in the loader and kind of finish scraping some of this rock off where I've got some room right now, and then when Dad gets back, we'll start loading some of this stuff out. Well, here's my stopping point for today. So I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but because the pictures, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think it shows up pretty good. I mean, I basically kind of cut, I don't know, 3 or so feet in the side of that hill, and it looks to be a pretty, I don't know, decent grade or whatever. I try to get down here. It still kind of tapers down. We're trying to get it a little flatter here and then kind of gradually take it up. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get the rest of that hauled out of there, and then I'm going to go back and cut these sides so they'll basically slope from the driveway kind of up there. It's going to get a little steep on some of that, and then this side won't be as bad. Like I said, we'll just kind of cut it down and reshape it, but I'll probably go from the edge of his hollies down, and then that'll all be grass right there. Yeah, I think this is going to work a whole lot better than how we had it originally, so I'm actually more excited about this. It's just going to be a little more of a detailed entrance or whatever, if you will, or kind of emphasize the end, a little more dramatic, I guess. But yeah, hopefully we can get rocking and rolling first thing in the morning, get the rest of that hauled off, and I'd like to get that hauled off and cut these 2 slopes, and then we'll kind of get everything rolled in. They'll look at it again before we haul any more base rock in here, but I think they're really going to be happy with this. It's going to be a lot easier. Like I said, all the delivery trucks, dump trucks, concrete trucks, to make that turn and pull this hill. So it's coming along. So I think we hauled off 26 loads so far, and because this whole pile is what we dug out of the whole driveway, and then the majority of it down here. So we may have another 25 or so. So we could end up taking 50 or more loads just out of this end right here, but we cut this hill down a whole lot. So we'll move the loader over there, fuel them up, and just catch you guys tomorrow.